Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the Madden 26 Patriot franchise here on Pastor's Game 2. The year is 2030. Season is number 6, and this is week 6. But today is not a gameplay video day, even though that will be coming soon. We'll bring the Miami Dolphin and Patriot game to you very shortly. But this episode is a look around the league as we just kind of take a look at what's going on everywhere else in the league. We're going to do these on week 5, around week 10, and around week 15. So this will be your early season edition of a look around the league. And honestly, all this is just what it sounds like. We're going to look at teams. We're going to look at trends. We're going to look at injuries. We're going to look at top teams. We're going to look at whole numbers. We're going to look at a whole bunch of things just to give us a sense of what's going on throughout the league. It can be really easy to lock in just on your team. And so I'm trying to do a good job of giving you everything you need to sort of get into the whole thing. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is let's look at the AFC, or rather the division or the conference. Always mix them up. Is this the division? I guess these are the divisions. Let's look at the divisions. And I really just kind of want to look at the drama division. So you can see, looking at the AFC first, and then we'll look at a menu for the NFC. In the AFC, the AFC North is probably the dramatic conference there. You got the Baltimore Ravens at 3-2 and the Pittsburgh Steelers at 3-2, and you got the Cleveland Browns at 2-3. So all those are pretty one game away. Again, as an early in the season, you're probably going to get a lot more of that. Not a lot of games to create a lot of separation, but that division, it just looks like those teams are always kind of battling each other. And then you got the AFC South, and you got the Houston Texans at 3-2, the Tennessee Titans at 3-2, the Colts at 3-2. All three of those players tied, and then you got Jacksonville at 2-3. When you take those two conferences together, you just have a lot of teams in the AFC who are within a game of each other here in the I guess this is the 6th week of the season. And then you look at the AFC West. Similar, a lot of games are one part away. You got the Denver Broncos leading the AFC West with 4-1. Broncos were the low man in the AFC West last year. So we'll have to see if Denver is for real. We'll get to that a little bit later in this episode. But Denver 4-1, Kansas City 3-2, the Chargers 2-3, all within a game or two from each other. In our division, there's not a lot of drama, really. The Jets are there with 3-2, but we are 4-1, so we're kind of holding it down there. Looking at the NFC, though, if we jump over to the NFC South, that's where we'll start. This is probably, for my money, this is probably the most entertaining conference of the season. The Panthers, the Buccaneers, and the Falcons, all three of them really good teams, a lot of potential in all three of those teams. There's something in me that really wants to see the Falcons break out. I just feel like they've had a pretty good season, a pretty good team, a pretty good opportunity over the last few years. And of course, Rodney Stevenson is former quarterback for the Patriots. He's over there at the Panthers, and finally starting to see some difference there. I don't know if he's putting up the stats that he was putting up for us, but he is a much more reliable quarterback than what they had, even though Bryce Young, the former quarterback for the Panthers, is at the Atlanta Falcons right now. I just think these guys are, if I could look at games this season, I probably would look at the games for these guys, especially if they were playing each other. I think I would check that out. Side note, the New Orleans Saints, they got Drew Brees. They're 1-4, but man, you think about this division they're in, man, they've got a tough climb with that quarterback. So we'll see what happens with them. So NFC South, one of the top teams to pay attention to. NFC East, also very close though. You got the Commanders with a 4-1 record, Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants, all very close to each other there. Very curious to see what the Cowboys will do. They've got a key injury that could be affecting things going forward. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. And we got the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. The Cardinals are 3-2. The Rams are 3-2. The 49ers 2-3. The Seahawks 2-3, all within a game of each other. This one is, this one's interesting because I really don't think the Rams are going to be that good. I don't think the 49ers are going to be that good. Seahawks could be. So I don't know. This is different. Even though they're all right there next to each other, it doesn't feel the same as the NFC South, which I think we can get a Super Bowl appearance out of one of these guys. So that's a look at let's see, who do we didn't? We didn't look at the North because it's not that competitive. The Packers are there. The Vikings are there. These are two of the top teams in the NFL, though. So these two guys, Packers and Vikings, they're going to battle it out, but not sure what we're going to see out of the Bears. And the Lions starting out 0-5, crazy work. So not a whole lot to do in the NFC North. All right. So that is a look at some of the conference drama. You can find your favorite team, see how they're doing and all of that, but very interesting to see as we get going here. Okay, so let's take a look at some injuries, major injuries that are happening in the season. One of the things that you're going to see here is first of all, the injury bug is very active. There are a lot of key injuries. I pretty much want to highlight players who are 85 and up. So there's a lot of these players that are not 85 and up that are here, but I really want to talk about like impact players. And so like this guy here, Mitchell Freeman for the Bears, like we're not going to talk about him, even though he's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. But there are a few players that are 84, or if it's like a starting quarterback, then I'll probably mention them as well. So let's take a look at some of the key guys. Bengals. We'll start with the Bengals. Looking on the screen here, the big one to report on is Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle, 89 overall, is going to be out for 5 to 9 weeks. Now you're going to see a theme here with defensive tackles, cornerbacks, and running backs that are just struggling with injuries all across the league. So Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle for the Bengals, out 5 to 9 weeks. Looking at the Broncos, they're the next team, and you see they've got a lot of injuries. But the key one, this guy, this 84 overall, is that the guy I want to look at? No. The guy I want to look at is Jonathan Brooks, their top running back. He's an 84 overall, and he's going to be out for 3 to 7 weeks. They've got a couple 83 guys here. This guy, JD Johnson, is a superstar X Factor. He's going to be out for a little bit as well, 1 to 3 weeks. But the Broncos atop the AFC West, but a lot of injuries here over the next 2 to 4 weeks there. Looking at the Browns, they're going to be without Jerry Jeudy, their top wide receiver, 85 overall wide receiver. He's out 3 to 5 weeks. Also, looks like a season-ending injury for the very young and very promising center, Joey Colin. He is 23 years old. He has a complete ACL tear on injury reserve and will be out for 35 to 41 weeks. I don't know if that's an injury. Is that a career-ending injury? For 35 to 41 weeks is a very long time. That's what it's 18. Well, I guess that's 2 years. He's going to be out for 2 years. Man, that's got to be tough for the Browns to lose what probably is a really good drafted player at 23 years old and out with a complete tear. Looking at the Buccaneers are going to be without their top running back in Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving is a 91 overall. He's got a torn labrum, will be out 1 to 3 weeks. Next, we're going to look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are also going to be without their top cornerback, Trent McDuffie, best defensive player on their team, likely a team captain. He is a 93 overall, also with a torn labrum. He will be out for 3 to 5 weeks. Now we move to the Washington Commanders and Jameson Williams, the speedy wide receiver. He's going to be out for 1 to 3 weeks, 87 overall. He has an upper arm fracture. And now we move past the Commanders to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you see he's 77 overall. This is kind of what I was referring to earlier, though. Gabe Porter is their starting quarterback. He is the guy that they brought in to replace Dak Prescott when he retired. And he's a young player and hasn't progressed to the level that you would think. But nonetheless, he is their top guy. And he's going to be out for 3 to 5 weeks. So Dallas Cowboys could, you got an opportunity for another young player to come up and make a difference. Or you're going to see some play drop from the Dallas Cowboys. Moving on, we're going to get to the Giants here, and we're going to see that we had a couple players. We have Dexter Lawrence going to be out 4 to 8 weeks. Their superstar X Factor, rated 96 overall. This is a big loss for the Giants. He is the anchor of the middle. He is a 32-year-old veteran, but still playing at a very high level at 96 overall. Again, dislocated ankle is going to have him out for 4 to 8 weeks. And now we have another running back in Kareem Forbes, 25-year-old young player who 88 overall for them. He's going to be out for 21 to 27 weeks. That is basically the end of this season. He is on the injured reserve, and the New York Giants are going to struggle. NFC East with some big problems there in their division between the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants. Moving on, we got the Packers, another running back, Will Nolan, X Factor, was played very well against us when we played them in the Super Bowl. I think it was last year, it was last year. I think we played them Super Bowl. He has broken ribs, out 2 to 4 weeks, 92 overall. Halfback Will Nolan, Nolan Nolan, and he is going to be the Packers going to be without him for a little bit. That'll be important. We talked about the Packers and the Vikings being two teams that are probably some of the better teams in the NFC. We'll see what the Packers can do without their big threat running back. Moving on, we're going to go to the Los Angeles Rams, and they're going to be without their defensive tackle, Braden Fiske, Fiske. Fiske, he's going to be a 2 to 4 week injury with dislocated ankle. And once again, defensive tackle, 85 overall. The Rams will be without him. And looking at the Seahawks, they're going to be without their cornerback, Devon Witherspoon. Cornerback rated 91 overall. He has a broken finger, out for 1 to 3 weeks. And also another cornerback. These are their top 2 cornerbacks. Going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks with a pulled groin, 87 overall. So the Seahawks, 91 and 87, they're going to be very thin in their secondary. If you're kind of looking down at the rest of this, you can see that the third cornerback is actually out this week, but hopefully he'll be back next week. So Seahawks struggling for at least 1 week. Definitely will be, struggling, at least 1 week, and depending on how Patton does, could be struggling for up to 4 weeks. And last but not least, we're going to look at the Texans, and the Texans are going to be without their cornerback, Kamari Lassiter. He's 27 years old, 89 overall with a pulled groin, 2 to 4 weeks. So as we talked about, and then we have the left tackle, Todd Buckner, 1 to 3 weeks, 86 overall, out with a broken thumb. So as you can see, yes, there's lots of corners, lots of defensive tackles that were out in this particular time, lots of halfbacks and running backs that are just kind of, the injuries are just biting all across the league. So there you go with that. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the hot teams in the NFL. We really do have, these are the hot teams, and really this is where we play the game, you sort of legit or fraud. This is where we say, hey man, this record looks like they're going to be pretty good, but do we actually think they're going to be good? And we'll see. It's early in the season, so a lot of stuff could really go in a different direction. But we're gonna look at the hot teams here, the ones with the longest win streaks, and then we're gonna look at the weak teams, the ones with the longest losing streaks, and then some of the best records as well we'll look at. So we'll start with the win streaks. Commanders and the Buccaneers, both with 4-game win streaks. They are two of the top teams. And when you look at their schedule, I'm going to call these guys legit. If we go to the Commanders, let's do it real quick. If we go to the Commanders schedule here, you see that they played against the Panthers. I think a very good team. They beat the Giants, easy team. They beat the Saints, easy team. But these last couple of weeks, they played the Packers and the Eagles and got wins in those games. I think that makes the Commanders at least a legitimate, high caliber team. So we're going to say legit. And if we look the rest of their schedule, if they can keep the wins going, the Falcons a tough game, Buccaneers a tough game, Texans a tough game, Cowboys could be tough. We'll see. Eagles tough game, Jaguars tough game. So they've got a pretty strong schedule. If they that I think they can win. They've already shown that they can beat high caliber teams. So I think the Commanders are for real. If we look at the Buccaneers, similar thing with the Buccaneers. They played the Falcons, they lost that one, but played the Eagles and got the win. Played the Vikings, got the win. Again, two very high caliber teams here. They're going to have to play the Panthers, of course, that's in their division, but then they're going to get into Commanders and all that. So I think the Bucs, I think they're a legit team too, as far as what their record is. I don't think they, I think they're going to be pretty good. Last team I want to look at, we'll just look at the Panthers real quick, and we'll see the Panthers are 4-1 as well. Now they have a 3-game winning streak, but again, I talked about this being one of the top divisions, the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Again, I think they've played some pretty good teams. They played the Falcons, Commanders. They beat the Commanders, one of the better teams. They beat the Steelers, which they're no slouch. And they had, I think, maybe an easier win with the Giants, although it still was 27-24. And then again, a tougher schedule going out. They've got the Bucks. Well, maybe not. Bucks, Browns, Chargers, 49ers, all those feel like winnable games. Bears, winnable game. Eagles could be tough. Falcons, Bucks. Okay, so they don't have that tough a schedule. I think they can get in the playoffs. They do have a tough division though, so they will need to get those wins. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. But they will need to get those wins to stay relevant, because it's a very tough division there. Other teams that are doing really well record-wise, maybe not streak-wise, is the Denver Broncos. Let's take a look at them. I do think they are a legit team as well. Again, having already played, really all these teams are. Let's see. We're calling them legit, but the teams that they played are not really teams that would push them. So maybe we don't know if they're legit. I think time will tell with this team. I will say this though: they have a very weak schedule. Seahawks are not scary. Raiders, of course, not scary. None of these teams. They may lose against the Chiefs. Steelers, they don't have a scary schedule at all. Broncos could probably continue to get a good, since they have a good start already, they could get into the playoffs. We know about the Patriots. We'll talk about us later. And the last team we're going to look at is the Packers, another 4-1 team. And the Packers, again, not so tough opponents yet, but we believe now without their running back, it could change things. I don't know how long Will Nolan was out for. Let's see if he got any stats here. Okay, no, Nolan was out. Out this game. see. Was he? Did he play this week with the Bears? Okay, yeah, he did. So looks like he went down in the Bears game. Without the running back, they lose by 1 point to the Commanders, a formidable foe. We saw that Will Nolan's going to be out for, I think, up to 4 weeks. So they may be able to get the Saints. Okay, they may be able to get through the bye week. Okay, they might be able to get through this without Will. And then they're going to get tougher opponents right here toward the end with the Vikings. They're going to meet us, and then they're going to get the Vikings again. Yeah, I think they're going to be good. One team, I said one more team that we need to look at that I do think is fraud. They're 4-1, but I don't think they're nearly as good as their record. Is this right? Oops, this does not seem right. I wrote down the Dolphins here, but that does not seem, maybe I wrote down the wrong thing. Okay, I wrote down the wrong thing, so never mind. Never mind that. Okay, but this is a 1-4 team, so we can start here with the cold teams. Some of the baddest teams in the league right now. The baddest team is the Lions. 0-5, don't have a win yet. I really don't understand what's going on with this team. This is the closest thing they got to a win. I don't know what's going on with them, because the Lions, on paper, a decent team. In fact, let's just take a look real quick, because they just aren't. They don't feel like they're as bad as 0-5, and that's been that way for like 3 years. So here's the Lions. Okay, they don't have a quarterback. Okay, maybe that's all. Maybe it all comes down to that. They don't have a QB. They still have Jahmyr Gibbs, great player. Look at that, Amon St. Brown. I got at least one very good target, 2 potentially a great tight end. Let's look at that offensive line. Offensive line is okay, especially with a young quarterback. Maybe that's a problem. Defensively, they look very good on defense, on the defensive line. Middle linebacker situation doesn't look bad. Cornerbacks, not bad. Secondary looks good. I mean, that's not an 0-5 team. You just saw that. That is not an 0-5 team. I don't understand why they are where they are, but nonetheless, they are 0-5. And I believe if they keep playing like that, I think they lost to people who I feel like they shouldn't have lost to. So, for instance, the Bears. They shouldn't have lost to the Bears. They shouldn't have lost to the Cardinals. They probably should have lost to the Jets. If they're not going to beat those teams, they're not going to beat the Packers, the Vikings, the Texans, the Patriots, the Vikings again, Bears, the Packers. I mean, they have a pretty tough schedule. So, I don't know. The Bears going to still be pretty low, one of the lower teams. The Bears are a 1-5 team. 1-4 team, sorry. And yeah, I think it's gonna be tough on them too. Again, tougher schedule going down the list there. We've kind of talked about some of the same culprits here. So the Bears are pretty weak. You also have the Saints as one of the weaker teams here. 1-5, again, losing to, although they lost to a lot of really good players. Really good teams. They lost to the Bucks, great team. They lost to the Commanders, great team. Falcons, pretty good team. Steelers, good team. But look, they got the Packers. They're going to lose that one. Bucks, they're going to lose that one. Well, yeah, they're probably going to lose that one. They may get the win on the Browns. Probably going to lose to the Eagles. May get a win on the Ravens. Maybe on the Panthers, Cardinals and Panthers. Probably going to split those. Bengals, they could probably get a win there. Going to lose against the Broncos, probably. Falcons a loss. So they won't be good enough to be playoffs because they're in a very tough division. We talked about the Dolphins already. The Buffalo Bills is one of the other low teams. They're 1-4. In our division, I'm really curious to see what the Bills will do against the Lions. I keep thinking the Lions are going to be pretty good. But they without the quarterback, maybe that's where the problem is. The Bills could start to get some wins. They may be able to beat if they start here. Let's count the wins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they get 5 wins, they'll be at 6 wins for the year. That's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. Raiders are a team. They're 1-4, 3-game. They had a 3-game losing streak at the start of the season. Tough teams though. Texans, Chiefs, tough teams. Losing against the Chargers though, tough. But they beat the Broncos. Broncos are the top team in the division. So, and then they lose to the Ravens. So very curious. They could turn it around. This is another team that's possible to turn around. And the last team that I think will potentially turn around, I feel pretty good about them turning around, is the Bengals. Bengals are 1-4. But when you look at the rest of their schedule, it's potential that this team could turn it around. They can beat the Ravens. They can beat the Colts. We'll see what they do. They may lose that, but they can beat the Browns. They can beat the Raiders. They can beat the Saints. They can beat the Chargers. That's a lot of wins. And if they can get some momentum, maybe they can sneak one of those wins from one of the big boys. So I don't know. I think the Bengals could be a team that turns it around and would fight for a wild card spot if they can fight for a wild card spot. So there's a look at the top players. And so here's this little chart that we look at. We kind of have a Madden media poll. Kind of lays out who the championship contenders are and who the potential playoffs are. This is a look on the screen at the week 1 power rankings, right? And if we're looking at the power rankings, you saw in week 1, the Eagles and the Jaguars and the Patriots and the Vikings were the teams expected to get to the top spot. And you have a bunch of playoff hopefuls and a bunch of rebuilding. As we look at the season 5, the week 5 look at this, there's a lot of this is the same. The only team that moved, and this is the first time, but the only team that moved was the Saints. The Saints moved from rebuilding to playoff hopeful. I don't agree with that polling, but they do. So the Madden polls believe that the Saints have an opportunity to get there. They believe that the Falcons are going to be in the rebuilding stage. So if here's a look at what it is again, as of this week 5, the championship contenders still are the Philadelphia Eagles, rated at 84 overall, Jacksonville at 86, the Eagles at 89, and the Minnesota Vikings at 85. And then you got a bunch of players here in the playoff, a bunch of teams here in the playoff hopefuls. So there is some little updates with the ratings. And so if you did see the old picture and the new one, the biggest update you'll see is some of the ratings have moved. Some have gone up, some have gone down. But overall, the league picture and as far as the power rankings go, look pretty close to the same as they did in week number 1. Okay. The last little bit that we'll look at here is key players to watch for the Patriots. So who are the players to watch out for in this team so far as we have started going in? I would start with Thurman Cousins. Thurman Cousins in his second year as a quarterback. This is going to be his first year where he's going to be all in. He is right now trailing by 2 yards. Jordan Driver, the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, as the top passing quarterback. Jordan Driver and Thurman Cousins, both in their same year, both drafted, and you didn't expect either one of these players to be in the space where they are, but here they are leading the league with 13 touchdowns, leading the league with 1,529 yards for Jordan Driver, 1,527 yards for the Patriots' Thurman Cousins. And both quarterbacks have 13 touchdowns to this point. Jordan Driver with 7 interceptions, Thurman Cousins with 5 interceptions, doing their thing. CJ Stroud is the third space there, and then JJ McCarthy and Patrick Mahomes follow them. CJ Stroud with 1,515 yards, very close to those top two guys. JJ McCarthy 1,389, and then Patrick Mahomes 1,349. in the number of yards that they have. Other players, though, to pay attention to for the Patriots. The rest of these, we're just going to stay in our Patriot lane. Adonai Mitchell. We're wondering about. There's a lot of questions about the quarterback position. The wide receiver. Wide receiver position. Who's going to be the top guy? Adonai Mitchell could stretch the field out. Could help us maybe with some long balls, especially if we can get Thurman Cousins to throw the ball a little bit more accurate deep. So really curious. That's one of the questions. Again, they're just kind of looking out for, let's see, can Adonai Mitchell be the guy that create a long threat for us? Currently, Adonai has 12 receptions, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he does have the longest catch for the season for the team with 42. Although we'll talk about the other guy who's nearby there in just a moment. Defensively, one of the players that we really want to pay attention to is Kurt Weber. In his last season as a quarterback, as a Patriot, probably won't be able to bring him back. Really want to be able to do that, but Kurt Weber playing very well. He's just a guy that's kind of all over the place. 18 tackles. He's got 5 tackles for loss. He's got sacks. He's got an interception. He's got pass deflections. I mean, he is all over the field doing all the things. Really is a leader on this defense. Hopefully, we'll continue to see him play as strongly as he's playing. And then we kind of have Demarius. If we're looking at sacks here, Demarius Carrington is a guy to watch on the defensive line. He's playing on the right edge where Milton Williams was playing. Now that we've moved Williams to the inside, Carrington is handling that outside work, and so far doing pretty well. Leads the team in tackles for losses with 6 and leads the team with sacks at 4. Demarius Carrington doing his thing. And so now the last thing we want to do with the Patriots is talk about the rookie class who is just making a major difference, right? Everybody I talk about from here on out are in their first year. They are rookies. Looking at the receiving, Stefan Ryans, and he was out a game. It was a game where he didn't play because he was injured. He is leading the team with 25 receptions, 309 yards, leading both in receptions and yards, and average yards per game. He's doing a very good job, and we're very interested to see what he can do, man. He's so far shown that he can catch the ball. He's playing in a slot position and doing his thing there. 2 touchdowns for the season so far. Stefan Ryans is a player to be on the lookout for. Probably not our number 1 guy, at least not yet. Maybe sometime in the future. The other guy to pay attention to is the tight end Cody Newby. 20 catches. He's got 304 yards, just 5 yards away from Ryans, and he's got 4 touchdowns, a team leading 4 touchdowns. He has been probably one of the most reliable targets and has shown that he can take some plays away from Jason Stevens, or at least those players could really work well together. Cody Newby and Jason Stevens, those top 2 tight ends, both of them have 20 receptions. Jason Stevens with 244 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Cody Newby with 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. So the 2-headed monster of the tight end is legit and a real thing, and that's all because this rookie Cody Newby is stepping up big. Defensively, we got a rookie that's showing up pretty big here, and when we say big, we mean it in all the ways. What's his name? Kenya Mobley. Kenya Mobley is right behind Carrington with 3 sacks, and he's right behind him with 5 tackles for loss. He's got 9 tackles. He's got more tackles than Carrington. He is probably playing just as good on the line as any other player on this team. Rookie big guy that plugs the middle, 6'5", 345-pound big boy, getting it done, and we're really excited to see him continue to do his thing. Be on the lookout for Kenya Mobley playing through the middle at the defensive tackle position. And then last but not least, we have Ramon Harvey. He also is in the mix. He's got 3 sacks as well. So the defensive line, young and unproven between Carrington, Harvey, and Mobley, but starting to play pretty well with each other. So love that. These are players to watch out for for the Patriots this season. All right, now let's take a look at some of the NFL statistics here. Just kind of look at some of the key players doing things. We talked about the quarterbacks already. Jordan Driver leading all quarterbacks with 1,529 yards. Thurman Cousins second with 1,527 yards. CJ Stroud, the third quarterback, 1,515 yards. And then JJ McCarthy, 1,389 yards. And then Patrick Mahomes, 1,349 yards. Those guys are all playing pretty well. Those are your top five quarterbacks to this point in the season. Looking at running backs, the top running back right now, according to yardage, is Bijan Robinson. Right after him is Travion Henderson. That's the name we all recognize. Bijan with 473 yards, Travion Henderson with 452 yards. And then we've got Omarion Hampton for the Chargers at 437. Those are all players right there in the mix with each other, fighting for the top spot at the running back position. And we're looking at receivers. Jamar Chase, far and away the most catches this season with 36 receptions, 498 total yards. Devontae Smith for the Eagles follows him. He's got 492 yards. Jamar Chase, 36 years old, still killing it, still leading the league in all the things. Now, Devontae Smith has 8 touchdowns. He is leading all receivers with touchdowns. And last but not least, we have the Bengals' Mark Barden. So 2 Bengal receivers in the top 3. Mark Barden has 454 yards to this point and 4 touchdowns. Okay, looking at the defense, most tackles is Trevor Crawford for the Indianapolis Colts. Trevin Wallace, Trevin Wallace, linebacker with 33 total. Oh, hold on, wait. I got that wrong. Yeah. Trevor Crawford will be 57 tackles. Trevin Wallace with 51. Taylor Rollins with 51 as well for the Chicago Bears. Those are your top 3 tacklers. And if you look at sacks, 8 sacks for Micah Parsons, leading the league up to this point. After him is Yaya Diaby for the New York Jets with 6.5. And then you've got a couple players with 6 sacks, but we don't see our guy. We do have someone that has 6 sacks, don't we? Don't we have someone? I thought I said that. Oh no, 4. Our top guy is 4. Okay, never mind that. So Abdul Carter for the New York Giants is going to be number 3 on the sack list. So Michael Parsons with 8, Yaya Diaby with 6.5, and Abdul Carter with 6 sacks. Those are your top 3 sack getters. And then we've got 3 interceptions from Trent McDuffie. This is a 4-way. Is it 4? Yeah, a 4-way tie for the top interception guy. Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs has 3. Jade Barron for looks like he's with the Broncos. Cameron Curl with the Rams, and Noel Williams with the Chiefs as well. Looks like the Chiefs holding it down with 6 total interceptions from the top 2 players there. Yeah, so that is it. Maybe look at pass deflections here. Keenan Cousins for the Vikings has 7 deflections, and our very own Joel Wheeler is going to be tied with him with the most deflections at 7, and Kurt Weber following him at 6. And so our team is one of the teams getting a lot of pass deflections out of our secondary. Okay, I think that will do it. We don't need to look at the MVP race quite yet. The last thing I think we'll do is just take a look at our schedule and make sure we feel good about this. I think we can get a win with the Dolphins. Bears feels like a winnable game. Bills feel like a winnable game. Jets, Bills, I think we'll win those games. Lions could be a trap game. Jets feel like we can win that. Dolphins, we can win that. And then these last 3 here, Packers, Vikings, Jaguars, I think we could get 1 or 2 losses between those 3. So we could end the season with about 3 losses, potentially. I think our schedule for the rest of the year is, or at least for the immediate future, seems to me to be games that we can totally win. Okay, man, that's your look for around the league. I know that's a lot going on there, but hopefully you feel caught up with all the things that are going to happen, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about everything. Love that you guys are hanging out. Thanks for the love. Saw the subscriptions going up. Want to keep the party going. Yeah, we'll get started with the game and get that one posted very soon. In the meantime, this is Pastor's Game 2. God loves you, so do I. And I will see you when I see you. Peace.